Hi guys, hope you guys are having a fabulous Monday. So let's just talk and see where the cards take us, because I got nothing today. So we are going to see where they may lie. So y'all haven't seen the Primordial Tarot deck in a really long time. I don't use it often. So let's get into it. Spirit, what messages do you have for anybody that may watch this video in whatever space-time continuum? What message may you have for he or she watching? What messages do you have for he or she? Please answer honestly, truthfully, work with my guides. Thank you. Please be clear. Please be accurate. Thank you. What is going on? What messages? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Some of you need to tap into either ancestry, maybe look to an elder in the community or in your family for advice. I'm hearing something like there is a disconnect, and that's not how it's supposed to be. I'm feeling like someone has answers for you, but you are too plainly not open to it. And the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of times these two cards specifically talk about an authoritative figure. So these statues are basically like remnants of a past that has been long forgotten. And some of you maybe have forgotten your ancestors, or have forgotten the elderly in your family, or even in your community. And this is saying there is knowledge for you to understand and to learn if you're willing to ask for it. So with this one is there is a perspective that you can do. I'm hearing that for some of you that you have access to family members that have lived through trying times and seeing the rise and the fall of certain places, beings, countries, ways of life. You understand and appreciate things more. You just have to break out of this egotistical mind versus them, So with this blood of stone, I really feel like some of you you feel like there's unknowingly like a lot of sacrifices you have to get through, and like you just keep looking at day to day, like you don't see the mundane in it. You just see that something is wrong, but you don't know how to fix it. So with this being said, a lot of times this part of yourself that is trying to wake up or trying to show you something in the dream state, you're too asleep because it's like you're too comfortable, is what I'm hearing. You are too comfortable with what you've made for yourself, cocooned. And this is saying like, yeah, you have the finer things in life, but what can you be doing to help others in need too? Or do you just feel like, you know what, I feel good about myself, like I don't need to donate money to charities when most of it's going to go to the organization that's putting it on in the first place. It's not actually going to go to who needs it the most, And so some of you just need to get in touch with people, because this is saying like as things rise and fall, there's old ways of life old traditions that still stand intact. And a lot of you need to get in contact with that. So I'm hearing that a lot of it with this magician and these masculine cards, I'm really feeling like there has been either a grandfather, great-grandfather, an elderly neighbor, or someone that has caught your eye and you don't know why that needs help. So reach out. I mean, they would love to hear it. I'm hearing that for some of you, like even going to sit in, a random nursing home. A lot of people give shit to people who work in nursing homes or people who come into nursing homes because they pity these people. It makes them feel good that they've spent an hour with someone that they don't have to see again, you know? And that's not the case. Like, sometimes volunteering to sit with someone and understand their life, it changes yours, because it shows you just how small the world is, even though we have a big place. And a lot of it is going to get you reacquainted back with your soul. So, moving on. What information needs to come out? You can't just keep fighting and stabbing in the dark. Like, a lot of times people want to do that because we're afraid. And so I'm hearing, like, a lot of times we create situations that are way worse, that are actually more harmful than what they actually truly are. And I feel like with this contentment, it's like, I'm the chief, I'm the master of my own destiny, like, I don't need anything, whatever. And that's ego saying, like, oh my gosh, like, what can you incorporate instead of, you know, being comfortable in this web, right? What can you do to incorporate or to bring in to help better yourself, right? So for feminine, you know, for anybody who is like a lot more feminine with this creative flow, bringing this in will actually help you create more of something. It will help you create more. So we look back at the past, or we look back at things that no longer serve us, so it's time to get rid of. A lot of people, when we see, like, what can get rid of, what can we purge, what can we find balance in, right? What can we find a lesson in, or what can we find that made us feel a certain type of way? Like, a lot of times we realize that, like, when we get too comfortable, it's scary. The world is scary because we become cocooned in comfort because we fear things, right? So this is saying there is a purge that needs to be taken place because you need to get out of your comfortability. And this is spirit saying, like, your guides are saying, like, hey, we're trying to send you messages, but you're not listening. So with this being said, like, some of you may be seeing, like, kids playing, or someone comes up to you and just says some random thing that you don't even know. And you're just like, wait, what? Or you may be seeing birds or animals. But I do want to tell you, please be careful, because there are some people that deliberately want to take advantage of your naive, like, sense. So information, you know, you have to be very... You have to be very discerning about the information that you let people give you. Starseed Oracle, any messages for anybody that may feel like stuff in their life or something in their life is not going right? They feel like no matter what they do, it's wrong. They're kind of in a pinch, right? Or they're going through something that they've kind of just lost the faith. What message can you give them? Encouraging message. What encouraging message can you give? Devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. So some of you need to give self-love, because at the bottom of the deck, I'm seeing questioning everything, lifting of the veil, anything aligned must go. So when you find something in your life that you can incorporate into your routine, whether it's saying making coffee or making some tea in the morning when you get up, and normally you would just make the coffee, you wouldn't think anything of it, or, you know, and then you like change it up so it becomes part of your routine, that you actually have more fun, and you speak into the water, you know, and just be like, you know what, today's gonna be a good day. Today is going to be the best day of my life. Things are gonna happen to me that never happened to me before, on a positive note, and then so on and so forth. So when you speak into it, you're charging the water with positive energy, and then you're bringing it back into you, and you're saying thank you. So with this devotion and potency, it's like, be devoted to yourself. Be devoted to finding something that you are passionate about, whether it's a hobby or sometimes you literally have to make yourself be a living work of art. Is what I'm seeing. Just be grateful, like give back. Like I really want to say, for those who are like challenged, right, that they question things and they don't understand why they're questioning, is because the universe has a better plan for you. Like the universe is starting to tell you, like, hey, like remember, like we said that we would wake you up. Like here's your alarm clock. Like here's our cosmic alarm to you. So with this, it's like getting in touch with something that makes you happy, that brings you joy and brings you stability and a routine that is not just comfort, it's something that actually can heal you. I really feel like you yourself will learn to appreciate things in life that are super small and overlooked. And I feel like that is going to help you tremendously, is finding that ritual for yourself to uphold, and something that you get to do every single day that you enjoy doing, to be like, oh my god, like I get to wake up, like I get to go to bed, I get to wake up and I get to do this tomorrow. Like it's something that makes you excited to do it. It doesn't burn you out and be like, do I have to? So water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. This is what I was talking about, like a routine, like a self-care routine. And then look, the courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. I really feel like you need to step out of your comfort zone. Like you need to allow your insecurities to fall to the wayside, because what makes you insecure is what something has attached to you in the past when you were younger, and people have made you feel like that. In this day and age, like I really feel like, yeah, we have the multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. So I really feel like nowadays, like this insecurity that we stop ourselves from is because it's a learned behavior that someone denied us because we tried to be ourselves. So now we are fearful and it's a trauma response. In reality, it's just like, there's nothing wrong, because the right people will accept you. And if they can't accept you, then that's their problem. It's not yours. So don't put yourself in a box, because the universe is telling you, like, it's time to get out of that box. It's time to stop labeling yourself because of something that happened in your past. Like, it's time for you to come through. It's time for you to be innocent. It's time for you to be you unapologetically. So we have the season Mintaka, seeing potential, unconscious to light. So some of you may be doing a little bit of shadow work, so like insecurities, or you have emotions with that full moon in Cancer. I feel like a lot of times we as humans, we bottle things up because we don't want to deal with all that responsive energy. We don't. And it's hard for us to deal with emotions on top of our daily lives. So we act like everything is right and peachy. In reality, it's not. It's harder to cope, right? It says your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. So whatever you are manifesting in your life, if you bring in positive things and you make that positive change, your manifestations come quicker because you are attracting it like a magnet. So anything that you have negative in your life that's still around, it blocks it. It's not going to repel it polarity wise, like you would think with magnets. So it's like positive to positive, negative to negative. You would think it would repel. But the fact that when you open space for this blank canvas, right, it's not going to paint itself. You have to paint it. So it says you're not for everyone. Embrace your true north. Embrace your weirdness. Be the type of person that you are when no one's around. Whether you sing in the shower, or you're dancing naked, or in a bathrobe in your kitchen and you're singing, and you know the scene on This Means War or whatever, where Reese Witherspoon's character is listening to Montel Williams, or Monte, oh my god, I can't even. Anyways, when she's dancing in the kitchen, whatever, making popcorn and stuff, and they're spying on her. And Monte, oh my god, Montel Jordan. the song, okay. And anyways, we're just gonna like ignore that I just made that. Anyways, going back. So dance like you are unapologetically like no one is watching because you are in your own element. So when you're in your own element, you don't care who watches. You don't care. It's not embarrassing. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, you have to do what you have to do because no one can be you and you can't be anybody else. We try so hard to be like that with people. So, yeah, I said ancestors, right? We have hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. So some of you may have lost yourself along the way. And it's time for you to get in touch with who you truly are and who you really want to be and who you want to align to yourself. I'm saying higher self, like the higher lines of your true self. And then we have the Star Keeper, cosmic ancestors, seed the light by being grounded. You are someone's cosmic ancestor, whether you have kids, whether you choose to have kids in the future or not. You know what I mean? You are someone's ancestor, even if, like, you know, let's just say for people that don't have kids, right? Like, if you choose to have kids or someone in your family has kids, like, and so on and so forth, even if you never have kids, right? You are someone's ancestor, even though you directly did not spawn a line. You are someone's ancestor that they could look back to and just be like, you know what? Like, that was her mission. That was his mission. So, you know, as theirs, I can look back at the things that they may have done that I could do differently. You know what I mean? So with this cosmic ancestor, when it says seed the light by staying grounded, a lot of you, when you go through spiritual, like awakenings, you neglect the actual grounding that it takes to keep you in the earth plane. A lot of times we like to float off like a helium balloon and one day we're gonna pop. We're just gonna go way too out in the atmosphere and we're gonna, because it's like there is a thing is too much. And so when we try to basically change our environment reacts to it in one way or another. So with that being said, this spiritual environment that you are in, you need to stay grounded and stay positive in that energy, and you need to make sure that your environment is positive, because the slightest hiccup or the slightest energy change will fluctuate the whole system, you know? So earth pulsing, slow down, take time in nature. Yeah, so I was saying, you know, your environment. So a lot of times to ground out, for some of you, even taking a walk in the park or taking a walk down the street, a lot of times we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle that we forget to enjoy the actual earth that we're given, because it's like one day it's going to be gone. We're going to be gone. And, you know, humanity has destroyed so much of the earth, and we're seeing how much she's fighting back. How much of these people are coming in to be like, look, like, our earth mother, you know, Mother Gaia, you know, Mother Nature, she can't handle this anymore. So she sent us to be her advocates, her allies, and her voice, even though she doesn't need one. Like, the earth could swallow us whole in a brink of existence. She could annihilate us. And so it's like, enjoy the beauty while you still have it. Enjoy the time that you're able to connect with that beauty and that energy that makes you feel good, because reality, if we weren't meant to be here, we wouldn't be here. So we have wait. It's not time yet. And then baby steps. So I feel like a lot of times people want to move above something that is not ready for us. And that's just saying, like, hey, like, we got to take baby steps. Like, your intuition is right. Like, we're guiding you, but like, you got to chill out. You got to do what you need to do, right? Because it's like, take time in nature, right? So it's like, ground yourself out. It's like, wait, you got to ground yourself out, and you got to get in touch with yourself and take the baby steps before you can, you know, bypass up to the top of the stairs, you know, and you can have your Rocky moment. So we have longing for home. A lot of times we look at things that some people, I really feel like a lot of people are like, I don't belong here on earth. You belong here because you wouldn't have incarnated here. A lot of times we just, as humans and as spiritual beings, we long for that love where we don't know war, we don't know hate, we don't know evil. We don't know the density of this reality. You know, we know that unconditional healing and love and full ability, and for places that we're looking I really feel like this longing for home, homesick for the stars, the hyrith, I really feel like it's more of a longing for the old ways, the things that make us feel comfortable. I don't really feel like it's a longing for home. I feel like it's a longing for the person that we were before everything happened, or the responsibilities that we inherit as we grow. And it's just saying, hey, you're not alone. Like, you have a community, even if it's online. Like, reach out. Someone is willing to listen. And we have birthing creation's tapestry of life and expression. So all you have to do is reach out. A lot of times we find creation by speaking out. We speak into existence, and that is our creation. And then we have double, mission. So we have a light worker, and serving the world by you. So when you step into your abilities and step into your power, you help the next person pick up their ability because of the fact that we are connected, right? And it says you got the love, Hadrian, and so some of you may be leaving a codependent relationship where there's a bit of addiction. And granted, look, when I split the deck, look, we have whale and orca elders. Share your song frequency. So when you speak into existence, everyone is affected around you, because when you add in, we have new earth, right? So if you want to change the world, you have to change yourself, because you can't just go out and change the world without changing your immediate worlds first. So I just want to get a little bit more messages. Okay. Guys, I don't think you've seen me use these in a while, have you? The mausoleum. I still, like, literally almost a year later, and I still haven't. Mausoleum. Oracle. Okay, Spirit, what is going? Oh, we have Lilith. So, like, the succubus of life, and not in the good suck. TMI, but hunger, animalism, and instinct. A lot of us are in that primal energy where we're getting by on instinct. Instead of relying on our intuition, we're responsive on stimuli, right? So we have the traveler, the keeper of crossroads, restlessness, independence, and appraisal. So a lot of people are just on the go, 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 go. And that's actually saying, like, hey, like, stop, slow down. Like, I know that you want to get to point A to point D, but and from point D to point Z. So a lot of times that people who are independent, they feel so exhausted all the time. This thief of life is a thief that takes from us because we don't stop and enjoy life, because we're always told, oh, you have to work to pay your bills, right? We're in all this debt, the economy's going down, things are so much more expensive, right? So it's like the richer get rich, the poorer get poorer. So it's like, when is that going to stop? When is this society going to stop and realize, like, we all live together, and the fact that we pay into these people's pockets, right? So we have the keeper of whispers, the mad prophet, curiosity, madness, and forbidden knowledge. A lot of times I feel like a lot of people in this instance, some of you as children were actually conditioned to forget, or like it was never acceptable. In reality, what it is you have all this ability, and it's just the people around you were stupid because their views on what you were doing or what you do it conditions you. So because they were like, oh, this is not normal, this is not what I believe in, so this is wrong, this is the devil, in some instances. So this is saying, like, take a moment and uncondition yourself, because it's like with this Arthur, champion of Avalon, right, we have companionship, we have nobility, and self-realization. So the fact that this champion in this companionship, right, I really feel like you need to trust in yourself and trust in the fact that you have the abilities that are capable of getting you by. You have a community at your disposal. You just have to call them in, right? And you're just. So let the suspicion and the wrath go. Let them, let the anger go. Like, I really feel like sometimes we are always suspicious of the next person, like who's gonna hurt me, who's gonna do this. When you meet your right community, they're not gonna do the shady shit that other people have done, the major lessons. Now you're on the slope, you know, gaining speed to go in. So for some of you that are having a hard time, you need to call in your spirit team, whether you actually meet the people online or in person. Like, your soul tribe is out there. Your rings of your members for your spiritual community, even like your life, even if you're not in the spirit, are out there waiting for you. Like, they're in need of you. But right now, you have to take the steps to get there, you know? So we have Anubis, arbitrator of truth, preservation, neutrality, and obligation. You have an obligation to yourself to know that your abilities and your duty in life is to yourself and to yourself alone. You don't have life to give to someone else or to bring in life. That is your call. So first and foremost, you are the main focus of your life. I know that it's harder when you have family and whatnot, but I just want to say, you are the main character of your life. So stop giving that power away. Stop giving your spotlight away, because you doing it, you put yourself on the back burner, and they get their just rewards for the work that you did. So they're taking your treasure, basically. I don't want to use it like that. So evaluation is, you need to evaluate yourself and evaluate what you want in life, because I really feel like a lot of you want things that have no meaning. They're literally sucking the life out of you, and it's bringing you disharmony, and it makes you feel like you're not good enough. And so with this overlord of the abyss, right, corruption and malice, a lot of times when you feel like shit, you bring in negative energy, because that's all you're going to attract is negative, you know? So it's time to take the mask off. It's time to reclaim yourself. It's time to stop wearing a false, stop being deceptive, okay? Like, you need to find yourself again, right? Because this is what you're being called to do, is to let the past be the past and shed that skin and find out who is the real you behind the mask that you wear to basically tell people, I'm okay. In reality, you're not. You're upset. You feel like you could be better, right? And this is just saying, because of how old your soul is, like, you need to accept that you have changed, and you cannot expect people to change with you or change for the better as you change. And it's vice versa. Some of you have changed negatively, and you can't expect someone to see your viewpoint. I'm really hearing like you expect conditionally to accept your conditions, and that's not okay. So this disillusionment is exactly what that was, is you expect other people to change with you or by your standards. In reality, it's causing you to be ripped even further apart, right? So this internal surveyor, right, is like, you may have feel like incomplete inside. So it's like you expect other people to make you complete, or situations to make yourself complete, because you haven't found the source of why you feel like that. So this reclaiming yourself to be like, you know what? For an example, I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to make music, or I wanted to paint. And the older I got, the more I just didn't like it. But I did it anyways. And I hate myself. Like, what do I want to do now? And a lot of times when you have dreams like this, a lot of times you grow up because you realize there's more out there than life, and you just saw this one thing, or that's all you had to get by. In reality, now it's a whole wide world that you can go out there. I feel like some of you just lack inspiration. Like, you lack the resources, or you lack the people to inspire you, or like you lack being able to go to the places that you want to go that inspire you, because you haven't tapped into yourself, into realizing, instead of looking for outside sources, that source was inside here all this time. It was in here. And now it's time for you to tap back into that center. And I really feel like that's what's been going on with you. Any last messages for those who may be going through a tough situation or an obstacle, and this is how they can overcome it? So this may not be for everybody. So with this curiosity, it's like, I really feel like some of you are curious in what they would say, like, the forbidden arts or the dark arts. And, you know, that's fine as long as you're not harming anybody. You're not bringing anything that's going to harm anything in. So this forbidden knowledge, I feel like a lot of you are diving really deep into the psyche and, like, dark psychology. I get dark psychology with this one. So basically, how can you analyze? And I want to tell you, instead of analyzing other people and other situations, analyze yourself using dark psychology. Because you will realize some of the shit that's already in your psyche or in your soul is already have been there, and that's because you've added on to it. So instead of analyzing narcissistic behavior or how these other people, analyze yourself, and, you know, that's a form of shadow work. Dark psychology is a form of shadow work. So we have mediation, communication, and culture. So Hathor, mistress of love and harmony. So you need balance, guys. You need balance. You need love, and you need a radical acceptance of everything that you couldn't accept before, and just accept it to be like, you know what, it's someone needs it, so this is right for someone, so I can't judge. I know what it's like to be judged, so I accept that because that's right for them. It may not be right for me, it may be weird, but radical acceptance is just going with it. Like, trust your intuition and just go with it. I feel like a lot of times people will tell each other, oh, I don't accept you because you're weird, because you don't conform to my norms, because I conform to these. In reality, it's like, oh, okay. Like, you're entitled to your beliefs and your system of being, so, and I'm entitled to mine. So we have boundaries. Like, I accept that, but you're not going to make me conform to you, because what is right for me has been right for me. Like, I take it with a grain of salt and a suggestion, so thank you. You know, and just leave it at that. I think a lot of times we as human, we try to trigger the other people because we have a savior complex. And this is not just race, but I feel like we as humans have a savior complex where we feel like, oh, we see someone that's doing something, so we have to save them. I really feel like it's just radical acceptance, is to accept them, and that's the madness of life, is acceptance, radical acceptance. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So I hope that this reading helps someone whenever you see it in whatever space-time continuum. I love you and I miss you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a pleasant start of your week. Peace and love.